The time is 11:31 a.m. Your name is Derek Strider, but you hate that name. Most people just call you Bro. You've known about the apocalypse for some time, tipped off by a friend of yours who works at Skynet, an international research conglomerate. Still, seeing something coming doesn't prepare you for the reality, no matter how many rocket skateboard-propelled bombs you craft. Even so, now you're on the other side of the apocalypse, standing on the roof of your apartment building, which is now perched high above a lake of lava. Roxanne didn't tell you about this. You consider going back downstairs to confront your brother, but something stops you. For years, you've been trying to make your little brother stronger, to build him into the man he needs to be, to overcome the challenges waiting for him in this strange land. Your memory drifts to the fight you both had on the roof just this morning, to the way he merely laid down to take a beating. From below, you see a small skiff skipping across the lava, manned by two little gremlin-looking things. The beeline they're cutting in the gloopy hot mess indicates their target is your apartment, and if they're coming now, more will come later. You look towards the entrance of the stairwell, walking towards it, your mind reeling over the decision you have to make. Dave isn't ready. In fact, he's less than not ready. He's a cream puff, a weakling, a liability. You hate thinking that about your own flesh and blood, but deep down you know it's true. You hold your puppet little Cal in your hands, an heirloom you one day hope to pass on to him, but you suppose that day never came. You slip into his room, undetected due to your mastery of stealth. Your fingers let go of little Cal, placing him on the empty table across from Dave, behind him, exiting the room. One final gift to your brother. You did all you could. You reassure yourself, adjusting your shades on your face, feeling tears sting behind your eyes. You know you did. You fought with him every single day on the roof, and in spite of all those fights, all that adversity, he never rose above it. Back on the roof, the alien skiff is approaching faster now, no longer a dot on the horizon, but an audible presence. It's time to leave. Now is the time to throw Dave into the deep end, even though you know he'll drown. There's no hope for him, but still, you have to suppress your own instincts. Either those imps will tear him apart, or something else will. In that moment, your brother dies to you as you lean off the side of the roof, feet planted on a rocket board, speeding off into the dark. You shed a bitter tear that sizzles into the lava below. Your name is Dave Strider. Turning from your computer, you scream.
Fuck.
Behind you, sitting on the table where your broken turntables once sat, is your brother's stupid fucking puppet, little Cal. Heart pounding, you smack the leering mannequin from the desk, fuming. The orange crow sprite lights beside it. Rose did say you need to prototype the thing again with something humanoid. You grit your teeth. For some reason, you feel like you're making the wrong choice, but you wave your hand bitterly. Go for it, you tell the bird. In a flash, the bird lights on Cal, and before your very eyes, the most horrible thing you've ever seen in your life is born. How was the smug orange visage of Cal Sprite, wings spreading triumphantly.
Better watch out, Mr. Dave. There's some imps coming at you from the window.
It cries, pointing a jittery puppet finger towards the window. The sound of Cal Sprite's voice is so obnoxious that you can barely think. As you draw your broken katana, you peek out the window. Sure enough, two black-colored creatures with leering teeth and claws are climbing the side of the sunken apartment complex.
Don't you worry, Mr. Dave. I'll take care of these guys quick,
Cal says, shoving you away from the windowsill. From his gaping eyes, beams shoot out and the imps fall back into the lava, howling animalistically, where they explode into grist. Don't do that, you say, annoyed. We need the grist, dipshit. You pinch the bridge of your nose, pushing your shades up. This was a fucking mistake.
Sorry, boss.
Cal says, but he doesn't sound sorry in the least. While you argue with your sprite, your computer pings, but you're not there to read it.
Dave, do you know anything about Gallows Calibrator? She offered to help, but I think I need a second opinion. She says she knows a shortcut to the first gate. Dave? Dave! Dave! Whatever. I'm just overthinking things. By the way, you know why these troll guys keep calling me June? I think it's a cool nickname.
June, you mean John, already logged off by the time you're able to respond. Whatever. He's dealing with some shit of his own now. Just, you huff exasperatedly at Cal, make yourself useful.
How's that, big man?
Cal asks, cocking his rictus grinning head at you. Can you fix turntables? You say sarcastically, pointing your thumb at the broken set on the floor, turning back to the computer. Rose, I think I, fucked up.
Dave, any grist progress?
No.
Looks like none of us are. John is awake, but he's been screwing around away from his computer all day. It's maddening.
He says he's been talking to a troll.
They do seem to know about the game we're playing.
I think it's fucking stupid personally, but whatev. They're aliens. That much is certain now, since, you know, the planet that we're all from is kaput. Oh, God, listen to me. Kaput. I'm already jaded. Am I jaded, Rose?
I don't know. I think you need a nap. Frankly, we all do. Just keep an eye on John. He's been ectobiologizing things all day long. It's starting to worry me. We shouldn't toy with those machines. They could be dangerous.
I'm sure the dude is gonna be fine. After all, that's his name. Ectobiologist.
Don't you find that odd? The fact that John's username is the very thing we're now doing in-game? That my mother had one of those machines in her basement? I mean, ectobiologize isn't a word.
I don't know. I guess. In my experience, coincidences happen, even wild, crazy ones. Until it turns out they weren't, all along.
Have you been doing any of it?
Ectobiologizing? No.
You should. Jade said she put a machine on your roof, so we can all have one.
You decide to check out this machine, noticing that Calsprite is gone. Far from put you at ease, this makes you nervous, even though it is now quiet. Cal? Don't fuck anything up, you shout, hoping he can hear you, but highly skeptical he'd even heed that warning, peeking around the house before hoofing it to the blacktop roof. To your dismay, you see the ectobiology machine, the dismaying element being Cal crouching in front of it, laughing as he presses buttons like a mad scientist. What the hell? You cry, rushing towards him as he dumps the two halves of your turntables into a tube, hitting a button. To your horror, they disappear with a melodic noise. What the fuck, man? You demand, swatting Cal on the back.
Boss!
He cries excitedly, slinging his weird limp puppet arm around your shoulder. You recoil, but he's surprisingly strong.
I fixed up your turntables with a little bit of ecto-hoozits.
You didn't do anything. You just made them disappear, you brainless puppety jackass. You shove him off, getting sick of this.
No, they're just over here, boss.
Cal insists, bounding over to the alchemeter. On the platform sit, you're not sure what. They appear to be turntables, but they're floating in midair at hand level off the ground, 2 records spinning in each. They're still split in half, and instead of mounted on a table, the records are set into 2 red discs that look like gears.
See? All fixed up.
Cal beams.
And with some extra features, too.
As soon as Cal speaks, there's a flash behind you. You've had enough with fantastical flashes today, so when you turn around, it's irritably, your growing anger making your face red hot with confusion and embarrassment. Alright, what the fuck is... Huh? Instead of being jump scared, this time you're creeped out. Behind you, about 2 steps away, is... you. A clone of you or... something, staring back just as dumbfounded as you are. Holy shit. the other Dave says, incredulous, looking down at his own set of turntables floating under his own hands. Cal grins wider at you and your new doppelganger. Shut up, Cal, you say in tandem, head swiveling toward the other. Who the hell are you? You demand, confused. It's surreal seeing yourself outside of a mirror, like this is some unruly reflection that won't obey you. It should piss you off, but anyone that isn't Cal is welcome in your mind at the moment. Those, other Dave says, nodding at your turntables. Something happened when Cal fixed them up. I don't know if I should explain, just try it, he says, and you feel your hands moving to scratch the record tentatively. Other Dave nods reassuringly, and you set your fingertips on the glossy ribbed surface, moving the smooth discs with a scratching noise. As you do, something odd happens. The whole world suddenly goes wrong, like a rewinding tape. Other Dave and Cal move in of their own volition before you break out of it as you let go of the record. Alright, what the fuck is... Huh? You hear a familiar voice from in front of you. More than familiar, it's identical to the thing you just said moments ago. It's Other Dave again, or... No, that's Dave, and now you're Other Dave. You stare at him, aka yourself, dumbfounded. Cal grins wide again, and you find yourself saying, Shut up, Cal, just like before. Who the hell are you? Other Dave says, but you cut him off. You know your lines. They're written into you. I don't know if I should explain, just try it, you say, as you from 10 seconds ago places his hands on the tables. He vanishes. What the hell, Cal, you say, not angry at the puppet bird for the first time today. What did you combine these with?
I don't know, boss,
he says, shrugging.
I knew they was yours, so I took a clone of you and combined them with your tables to try and fix them.
You look down at the tools still floating at your side, ready to be used. For the first time lately, instead of annoyed, you're excited. Holy shit, you say in disbelief. I'm a time traveler. The time is allegedly 11:31 a.m. Your name is John Egbert. After waking up from an alarming dream, you feel a little disoriented. You feel like in spite of sleeping in, you're not very well rested. Even still, you have a job to do. It's time to beat this shitty game. According to Rose, everyone has a job except for you, so you're stuck waiting, and it makes you feel sort of useless. Everyone's risking themselves getting grist for you, but you're trapped on your house. Worse still, no one is available to chat. So against your better judgment, you decide to take a chance and message the trolls through VG Fax. Hey, are any of the trolls still here?
Unfortunately.
Can I message you on Pesterchum? I have some questions.
You already have my handle, wise ass. We've spoken before.
Oh, right. You're on my block list, yeah. Sorry.
Well, take me off.
Before I do any other trolls want to chat with me?
June, I am your only option. I am the only one of my group magnanimous enough to lower myself to reason with lesser creatures like you. Your only hope, as it were.
I'll message you, June.
Fuck!
After exchanging handles, you open communique with GC. You feel bad about blowing off Mr. Geneticist, but you don't feel like getting yelled at. Maybe the leet-speaking one has more insight.
Well. Finally, you've come crawling to us for advice. It's not like we didn't warn you.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, to be fair, you did kind of seem to hate us from your posts.
Humans are an absurd species, allowing something as shallow as dislike to affect your interactions with a person.
Are you gonna help me or roast me?
They're not mutually exclusive, June.
And another thing, why do you keep calling me that?
June? Because it's your name.
It's not.
Oh, really?
No, it's John.
That's not what you say later on.
What do you mean later on? Holy shit, are you time travelers?
No, more like time readers. Well, okay, one of us is a time traveler, but she's irrelevant.
So you're saying that later on I start going by June?
Yes.
I guess it is a nice name, even if it is for girls.
Why would it being for girls matter?
Yeah, you're right. I should just go by any name I like.
That's not what I meant. But this doesn't matter, June. You wanted advice.
Ah, right. We need help getting grist early on to reach the gates.
Oh, that's adorable. Getting grist like wigglers. You're doing it wrong, June. That's the loser way to reach the gate. You can do that without building your house up.
Holy shit, really?
Of course. All you need to do is have your body pass through it. Easy.
Easy! Except it's not, dipshit. What do I do, just fucking jump 100 meters in the air?
Ha, one of our guys did that. Everyone else flew, except Carcat. He insisted he wanted to do it the right way, so he built his hive up like a petulant turd.
Oh my god, is that CG's name? Car Cat?
It is an exceptionally shitty name.
Oh man, this is so great. But anyway, how do I fly there? I don't exactly just have a plane lying around.
Well then, I can help you out there. Look at your ectobiology matrix.
You walk to your ectobiology machine, looking over the inscrutable controls. Okay, I can combine stuff to get new stuff, right? Like crafting loot in an RPG.
Exactly. But if you know where to get really good loot, you can skip over the process entirely.
And I take it you have this good loot. So what, you're just gonna give it to me for free?
June, I know you like pranks. Consider this one of my own pranks.
I do like pranks. But I don't get it. How will giving me a free flying contraption be a prank?
I'll put it this way, June. It will get your body through the portal at the very least. The rest is my little secret.
Okay, GC. I accept your help.
Great. Now enter these coordinates and combine the item with something to make it airborne viable.
Oh, I forgot to ask. You know my name, but what's yours?
Joe.
Oh, okay.
Joe Lucis.
Got it. Joe sends you some coordinates, which you enter in the machine. Oddly, it says, out of range error. Mr. Lucis?
That's Mrs. Lucis to you, June.
Oh, sorry. Joe is normally a boy's name where I come from.
My name isn't really Joe, dingus. It's Terezi. That was one of my pranks.
Well, your pranks are shitty.
Wrong. You're just too simple to understand them. Maybe Carcat was right.
I roll.
Hang on, I have a solution. I'll send you a different set of coordinates. Just give me a sec.
After a long moment, Terezi sends you another set. Curiously, the indicator screen shows a red-colored rocket ship floating in space. That's weird. The rocket's just floating. How did it get there?
I'm glad you asked. At great personal risk to myself, I placed it there.
In space?
Look, it's not my fault it's floating in space, okay? I can't access your stupid universe because of the demon you sent us.
I'm not entirely sure what that sentence means, but okay. What is this thing, anyway?
It's the red rocket.
Haha, another prank?
No, that's the object's name. I ectobiologized it myself. Why? Does red rocket mean something else to humans?
Don't worry about it. You decide to combine the, Crimson Jet propulsion unit with a backpack lying around in your room. You slam the button, and there it is, just like Terezi promised. Your very own red jetpack. Oh, all right. I didn't expect anything to actually happen. This baby will fly me to the stars.
Good luck, June.
Here I go. You say here you go, but you're still not sure about this. Something about this leaves too many unanswered questions for you. Why was there a rocket floating in space? What did Terezi mean by demon? Maybe you need a second opinion. Dave, do you know anything about Gallows Calibrator? She offered to help, but I think I need a second opinion. She says she knows a shortcut to the first gate. No answer. He's probably busy. You hitch the backpack to your back and decide to take a test flight. Hesitantly, you hover above the ground a little bit, moving back and forth. No horrific accidents so far. This thing is great. From indoors, your Nana sees you.
John,
She says, hands on her hips.
what on Lois is that thing?
It's, You hesitate, almost saying, red rocket. Changing course, you correct. It's a jetpack. This baby'll take me straight to the gate.
Good heavens!
Nana says.
What about building up your house?
Screw that, you say gleefully. You're having way too much fun on this thing. Zipping about, weightless, now quite high above your home.
Come down this instant, you!
Your Nana says with a warning in her voice, but she's already a distant blues below as you rocket towards your first gate, eyes stinging from the wind. You're not sure what Terezi meant by prank. This thing works great. If it gets your body through the gate, that's good enough for you, and as you approach the blue ring in the sky, you hoot with triumph as you pass through. You're doing it. You're flying for the first time in your life. Before now, you saw this game and the trolls as horrible and scary, but wearing this backpack, you feel invincible. You feel unstoppable. Wind whips your hair, and freedom blossoms in your chest. Haha! So long, son! Sadly, as soon as you pass through the ring, you explode and die. The time is allegedly 12:42 p.m. Your name is Dave Strider. Being a time traveler rules. You've been spending the past hour messing around with it, zipping to different moments on your roof, amusedly high-fiving your past selves as they zip away to become you, all the while obtaining high fives from your own future selves. The high-five economy is booming. Breathlessly, you end the festivities, feeling a little self-consciously silly. You've always loved time travel in movies, from Back to the Future to, well, that's the main one you always liked. You even got a puffy vest just like Marty when you were younger. Still, time travel in movies is always different. No two have the same mechanics. It makes you curious. Hey, Cal, you ask your bird puppet help character. Help here being used quite loosely.
Yeah, boys?
He asks in that Harley Quinn-esque squeak of his. What happens if I, go back in time, but then I don't become myself? You can already feel yourself brushing against the limits of human speech to explain this stuff. When I go back, I remember what to do because I just saw it happen, or when I go forward, then I know what to do later. Cal cocks his head at you. I have to become my future self, right? But in time travel, I can accidentally not become my future self? Cal cocks further. Say, if a future me appears right here and says, fiddlesticks, I have to become him later down the line, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. You follow? Cal doesn't. You're not getting anything out of him.
Sorry, boss. Your brother didn't give me enough fluff in the head.
Cal cackles, but you're suddenly nervous. You're not eager to try to find out what you just outlined. Maybe it's time to ask someone else. Yo, does anyone here know about time travel?
Shouldn't you, Mr. Knight of Time?
Anyone? Anyone at all?
Don't ignore me, you bulge nuzzler. You won't get any answers here. GC is already fooling around with June.
Hot.
You're disgusting. Just give it up. Maybe if we're all very, very lucky, you'll accidentally start another doomed timeline.
I am familiar with time travel myself, Dave. Feel free to message me, please.
Oh, come on.
You've never seen this troll before. You feel a strange wave of apprehension. Moments before you'd been so eager to try out your powers, but now they feel a little scary. What did Carcino meant by doomed timeline? You message this apocalypse person.
Hello, Dave.
Yo. Kinda creepy that you know my name already, considering we've never met.
I'm sorry.
It's cool. Just tell me your name so we're even.
It's Aradia. I'm the time player of my session, like you.
Whoa. So every Spurb game has, like, a time-traveling guy?
Yes, actually.
Wow, lucky me. I do have some questions. From, one time-traveling guy to another.
I am not a guy.
Oh, shit, sorry.
It is not a big deal to we trolls.
Oh. Right, so, I don't want to accidentally fuck something up. Time-ways, I mean.
That is very wise. I was not as careful as you were, and it caused a lot of problems for me.
Shit, okay.
The mechanics of time travel are quite simple, yet hard to describe linguistically. Basically, you need to always make sure, if you move in the timeline, you always become yourself later. I'm explaining this poorly.
You're really not. I think I get it, like, 100%. If I say get an apple as a gift from my future self, I would have to eventually find that apple and, give it to my past self. Otherwise, a paradox would happen and fuck things up, right? Or if I wanted to give my past self an apple, I would have to, like, already obtain an apple from my future self.
Yes, good job. I'm very happy to be speaking to someone who gets this.
So it's Bill and Ted rules.
I do not know what that means.
Oh, remind me to send you a DVD later. Oh, okay, but what happens if I don't become me later? Like if I fuck up and never become future Dave?
You will enter what I have come to refer to as a doomed timeline.
Oh, fuck. I'm glad I didn't mess around and make one of those.
Oh, well, I'm afraid you are already on a doomed timeline, Dave.
Wait. Shit, really? What?
Some doomed timelines are unavoidable. I'm very sorry. The chat client software I use can see your main timeline, which we call the alpha timeline, but it can also see the doomed timelines, which is made up when any mistake occurs, which creates a paradox. Let us say you see your future self appear, and he says, for example, fiddlesticks. You would then need to become him and finish what we call the loop. If you finish it, all is well, but if you do not, problems arise. You are no longer the Dave who said fiddlesticks. It becomes impossible.
But you said the rules, and I've been following them.
You have. You did not cause the paradox you are presently on.
What happens to a doomed timeline?
Nothing.
Oh, what, I'm just gonna be off the timeline forever?
No. When I say nothing, I mean it in an active sense. The doomed timelines terminate and disintegrate. You will die.
Fuck. What about my friends?
They are still alive and well. On the alpha timeline, that is.
I'm confused.
No, you are not. You are refusing to reckon with the fact that you may soon die.
You're one blunt bitch. Okay, how do I fix this?
There's nothing to fix. Your timeline will terminate, eliminating all the beings inside it. You are no longer real.
You can't just fucking tell a guy he's not real, Aradia. Fuck. How did this happen? Where did I fuck up?
It might make you feel better to say that you did not make this mistake. It was one of my friends, actually. Her interference caused issues. Issues that in this case do indeed need fixing.
You feel yourself starting to breathe heavily. Something deep down inside you knows that Aradia is telling the truth. You felt like something is deeply wrong ever since... Oh god, it was John, wasn't it? He got help from GC and that fucked everything. Oh, I didn't stop him, shit. God, I'm such a fucking bozo. I shouldn't have been fooling around, I should have responded.
Yes, GC interfered and made your friend explode, which is not how the alpha timeline should have gone. Your friend John needs to survive, otherwise your entire existence comes undone. Now that he is dead, well...
So you're saying she, like, fucked up the alpha timeline by killing my best friend? That's... shit, He's dead? John is dead?
Yes.
No. No. Fuck. This keeps happening. GC is gonna fucking pay.
Calm down. She can be difficult. But though the alpha thread has been broken, it can be mended. In fact, you are a unique position to mend it, doomed Dave. John does not have to die. In a sense, he has not at all.
Tell me how. Now.
You must go back to where the alpha timeline broke. You have to prevent John from dying. Since you are doomed, you are irrelevant to the alpha timeline. This means you can act any way you need in it. It is a strategy I used many times.
Right. Okay, I go back, stop John from talking to GC. Bing bang boom, I'm not Doomed Dave anymore.
Incorrect, I'm afraid. Since you hail from a time paradox, the Dave in the alpha timeline will never become you. Therefore, he will not leave his post as Alpha Dave. You will be a spare guy. A one-up.
Oh. I guess that's better than, dying.
I tend to think so.
Okay, well, fuck.
You know what to do, I think.
Okay. Thanks, Aradia. You do know what to do. You look out your window over the lava, towards the darkness of the land of heat and clockwork. The horizon looks a lot closer than it did before, like the planet itself is shrinking, like you're looking to the end of an incredibly small universe. Details around you look fuzzy, and Cal, behind you, sits silently, uncannily staring into the distance. You can feel it. Your world unraveling, just like Aradia said. It all feels so suddenly pointless, so idiotic, so maddeningly horrible. Your mind shifts to Chad's last words, and it makes your whole body feel too heavy to move. What's the point? Why bother? Why fix the alpha timeline? You're already dead, your peripheral vision beginning to blur. But then you think of John, your friend, your leader, a goofball, a dope, an idiot, a person who you can save. Your hand touches your turntables, and with a hefty spin, you toss them back, the world around you reversing. The time is 11:31 a.m. Your name is Derek Strider, but you hate that name. Most people just call you Bro. You've known about the apocalypse for some time, tipped off by a friend of yours who works at Skynet, an international research conglomerate. Still, seeing something coming doesn't prepare you for the reality, no matter how many rocket skateboard-propelled bombs you craft. Even so, now you're on the other side of the apocalypse, standing on the roof of your apartment building, which is now perched high above a lake of lava. Roxanne didn't tell you about this. You consider going back downstairs to confront your brother, but something stops you. You look towards the entrance of the stairwell, walking towards it, your mind reeling over the decision you have to make. Dave isn't ready. In fact, he's less than not ready. He's a cream puff, a weakling, a liability. You hate thinking that about your own flesh and blood, but deep down you know it's true. Then suddenly, as if exploding out of thin air, Dave appears, panting haggardly. At his side are two floating records. "Bro," he exclaims, grabbing your shoulders. "Where am I?" You balk. Dave's never laid his hands on you before, let alone taken you by surprise. You fix your shades, which went askew when your brother shook you. "You're on our roof." "No, jackass." He cuts you off, to which again you're shocked at. "The other me. Fuck this." Dave whips his head around, hastily dashing towards the stairwell, but he seems to reconsider. Dashing back, and before you can blink, he wrenches Lil Cal from your hands and tosses him off the roof into the lava below.
What the Dave?
You cry, hastily chasing, but it's no use. You watch helplessly as your beloved puppet, your Cal, sinks into the lava below.
You're dead, you little...
You begin to say through gritted teeth, but when you turn around, Dave is gone. Back on the roof, the alien skiff is approaching faster now, no longer a dot on the horizon, but an audible presence. It's time to leave. You thought you knew your little brother, but something is starting to gnaw at you. The feeling that you don't actually know the boy you raised one bit. You set off into the darkness. Your name is now Dave Strider. You turn from your computer screen, half expecting to see a little Cal leering at you, but it's just your orange bird sprite. You remember Rose saying that you ought to prototype the little guy again, preferably with something that can speak, so he can be a decent help character. You look around your room, but nothing comes to mind. You have a few weird bugs encased in amber on your shelves, but that doesn't really sound great. A weird bug is fine to look at dead, but you don't want your questing buddy to be a fucking millipede. Then suddenly, your bro kicks in your door.
What the fuck, man?
You say defensively, hugging yourself. Wait, that's not your brother.
No time to explain,
says the guy.
You're...
You stammer out as this blonde, beshaded stranger grabs your shoulders.
I'm you. Yes, that shit can wait, you beautiful dipshit. Now listen to me.
Your doppelganger grabs you by the shoulders, lifting his shades above his eyes. You're not sure what the fuck is going on right now, but this guy seems to be you, and you figure who better to trust than yourself. From behind you, your computer beeps. It's John.
Gah, fuck!
The other guy cries.
Dave, do you know anything about
are you
Gallows
sure?
Calibrator?
John's just being a dork. He can wait.
You say hesitantly.
No,
The Dave clone insists.
tell him not to listen to the troll.
The urgency in other Dave's voice shakes you. You turn to the screen without another word.
She offered to help, but I think I need a second opinion. She says she knows a shortcut to the first gate. Dave?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh,
You look over your shoulder at your wide-eyed copy.
I'll tell you later, okay, man? Just don't listen to the trolls. We shouldn't trust those clowns. The four of us have got this shit on lock.
Even if she really helped me out with a cool piece of loot?
Come on, dude. The only reason they'd give that shit to you for free is because it was some sick joke.
She did say something about a prank. Let me talk to her.
Don't mess around with that shit.
Heh, okay, Dave. You're right. You doing okay, by the way?
Oh, geez, John, you do care. I'm shedding a single manly tear down my rugged cheekbone, all catching the camera and glistening and shit.
I'll take that as a yes. See you soon.
With that out of the way, you turn to clone Dave.
Yo,
You say.
sup?
He replies. Things are silent between the both of you. It's a comfortable silence, one that you break.
So, are you actually, like, really me? Or some fake me about to, kill me and take my place?
I'm you from a doomed timeline, replies the other Dave.
Okay,
You say, already lost.
Basically we're time travelers. I'm like, whatever the opposite of the Terminator is. I'm a guy who's gonna save your ass from dying. Yeah, but that was what Terminator was in T2, remember? Yeah, exactly. I'm Arnold in T2. Tight. Tight.
Another long silence. Alt Dave points at the crow.
Didn't you prototype this thing yet?
He asks.
No. I prototyped mine with Lil Cal. It was a fucking mistake.
Alt Dave runs a hand through his hair. It's surreal watching your own habits play out on another person, like listening to your voice on a recording for the very first time.
That sounds shitty, you say. But I can't think of anything better.
Alt Dave blinks, getting a look on his face. You watch curiously as he silently leans down, a hand extended to your crow. who hops into his hand. A moment later, there's a flash of orange light. Before your eyes, Dave is transformed. You can't help but look in awe as wings spread from his shoulder blades, his skin and hair glowing orange. He looks at his hands, then over his shoulder at his wings, and then he looks back at you, and you both speak in unison. Oh, hell yes. The time is 11:31 a.m. Your name is John Egbert. After waking up from an alarming dream, you feel a little disoriented. You feel like in spite of sleeping in, you're not very well rested. Even still, you have a job to do. It's time to beat this shitty game. According to Rose, everyone has a job except for you, so you're stuck waiting, and it makes you feel sort of useless. Everyone's risking themselves getting grist for you, but you're trapped on your house. Worse still, no one is available to chat. So against your better judgment, you decide to take a chance and message the trolls through VG Fax. Hey, are there any trolls still here?
Oh god, this is miserable. You have no idea how miserable this is.
Can I message you on Pester Chum? I have some questions.
You already have my handle, wise ass. We've spoken before. Twice now, as a matter of fucking fact.
Ooh, right. Yeah, you're on my block list. Sorry.
This is so fucking pointless.
Do any other trolls want to chat with me?
Yada yada yada. We all know you're just gonna talk to Terezi. I already watched all this play out in your stupid doomed timeline.
I'll message you, June.
Fuck!
After exchanging handles, you open communique with GC.
Well. Finally, you've come crawling to us for advice. It's not like we didn't warn you.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, to be fair, you did kind of seem to hate us from your posts. After trading barbs with GC and ascertaining her name, she sends you some coordinates, which need to be fixed before you can get her gift. To you, this all feels pointless, but there is a promise of sweet loot. After some shenanigans, you finally see what Terezi sent. That's weird. The rocket's just floating. How did it get there? One unfortunate naming convention later, you are ready to ectobiologize. You decide to combine the Crimson Jet Propulsion Unit with a backpack lying around in your room. You slam the button, and there it is, your very own red jetpack. Oh, all right. I didn't expect anything to actually happen. This baby will fly me to the stars.
Good luck, June.
Here I go. You say here you go, but you're still not sure about this. Something about this leaves too many unanswered questions for you. Why was there a rocket floating in space? What did Terezi mean by demon? Maybe you need a second opinion.
Dave, do you know anything about Gallows Calibrator? She offered to help, but I think I need a second opinion. She says she knows a shortcut to the first gate.
After an odd pause, Dave responds. Hey man.
Hey, what's going on?
I'll tell you later, okay, man? Just don't listen to the trolls. We shouldn't trust those clowns.
Dave is right after all. You look at your new jetpack forlornly. It was so cool, too. But you should beat this game without help from dubious weirdos. Hey, Joe.
Aren't you zipping around the skies yet, June?
Thanks for the gift, Miss Troll, but I can't accept it. I'm sorry.
That's the sound of me snoring from what a lame person you are, June.
You chuckle. This Terezi person is annoying, but in a funny way. You're not sure how you feel about her. Well, you made this stupid jetpack. Might as well use it for something. You perch it on the guardrail of your balcony and flip the switch. Gleefully, you watch it sail high into the air at a skyward angle before, to your horror, it explodes mid-flight. What the fuck? Hey, dipshit.
Uh-oh, looks like the jig is up.
You sent me an exploding rocket. I could have been on that thing. Are you trying to kill me?
Of course we are, June. It's the least we can do.
I don't even know you. None of us do.
You don't yet, but you're the reason our session was ruined. I'm well within my rights to kill you. You might not have acted yet, John or June or whatever your name is. That's my justice, and I'm going to take it however I want. So watch your back.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe you should watch your back.
Shows how much you know. I'm blind, shoot sniffer.
Gallows Calibrator has blocked ectobiologist.
You stare at the screen, dumbfounded. Someone just tried to kill you. Not a brainless imp, but a real person. A thinking being wants you dead. You lean on the guardrail, singe marks from the jetpack's takeoff still smearing them. You don't know what to think anymore. This has been a weird day. And what's worse, you're no closer to your first gate. But what's odder is that there's something you can't get out of your head. Something that you've been pushing aside for a while. It's that name, June. A name you've heard over and over. You're pretty sure, even in your dreams. That's not your name. You're John. Right?
You all right, dearie?
You hear Nana ask. Her voice is just what you needed to calm down.
Yeah,
You say.
sorry, just kind of overwhelmed.
I should think so, Nana chuckles.
After all, you're in quite the strange circumstance.
You follow Nana inside, finding a plate of mashed potatoes and a muffin. Not the most nutritious breakfast.
I'm sorry I couldn't make a proper meal, John,
Nana says.
but there's not much left in the pantry.
Oh, geez. You didn't think of that. How are we supposed to eat?
Well, there's food in your land once you reach the gate, dear, so I hate to speed things up, but you might need to get there sooner than later.
You pick at your meal, nibbling, going over things in your head. Terezi did try to kill you, but she might be right. Building up your house is taking too long, and it might be better not to bother.
Nana,
You can fly, right? You ask.
well, yes.
Nana says, flipping in the air jovially.
Then, can you take me to the first gate?
You ask this, and Nana seems to hesitate. You expected as much. After all, help characters can't finish objectives for you, usually.
Well,
Nana says.
I can, well, you have your quest, and so, see.
It's fascinating. She's clearly torn between her Nana self and her sprite self. Half of her is your beloved grandma. The other half is a sprite.
Right,
You say, voice tinging with a sly tone.
I guess I'll just,
You sighed dramatically.
starve. No, I mean, we have food for a while yet, dear.
Nana swallows. Sprites can't sweat, but she looks like she might anyway.
Right,
You say, still dramatic.
but geez, I mean, you're doing your best, and all we have is mashed potatoes and muffins? You're a better cook than that, Nana. I am,
She says hesitantly. Oh, yes, all according to plan. If there's one thing a grandma can't resist, it's a hungry grandchild.
Well, then unless we go through the gate,
You reason, trying to put on your biggest puppy eyes.
I won't get fed right. Right, John, but I can't just fly you to... I mean, I can't just...
Nana fidgets, tugging her apron, but a sound stops her right dead in her tracks. Your stomach growls, and the sound breaks her. Suddenly, Jane Egbert grabs a hold of your shoulders, and with what could only be described as grand matronly strength, she hoists you into her arms and blasts through your ceiling, hurtling towards the first gate.
Have another helping, dear!
She howls over the blistering wind as your Nana flies you, Superman style, into the land of wind and shade through the ring high above.
Homestuck Alternate Universe is written, produced, and read by Funk McLovin. Additional voices include articulately composed as Mom and Rose Lalonde, Janiyah Riley as Jade and Kanaya, Captain Laser as Jack Noir, and AE as Terezi Pyrope. Art is by Sunny D, and additional credits are by Funk McLovin. Please support Homestuck Alternate Universe by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. Homestuck AU is also on Patreon at patreon.com/funkmclovin. This month's patrons include Kerpel, Quartz, Jan Measely, Christopher, Sir Sheepsalot, Eliza Azalea, Sloth Bucket, Dawn, Athena, Eo Makara, Ka, Danica, Hyris, Zipperozic, Kaleidoscope Mediator, Elizabeth, Luna, and Jojo. Thank you.